Today, I'm going to show you how to build a sci-fi classic laser pistol thingy. I didn't exactly come up with an actual name for this, so for this build you'll need a hot glue gun and hot glue, white glue, sponge brushes, a marble, for whatever color you feel like, a glass bottle, pipe cleaner, craft foam dust mask, box cutter, a ruler, a Dremel tool, some scrap EVA foam, or some full sheet of EVA foam that my freaking cat decided to rip up, and a Sharpie marker. First, draw out the shape that you want. It doesn't necessarily have to look like mine. This is really just to give you an idea on how to make it look really sci-fi like. And there's no real actual measurements to this. I'm just kind of making what would fit best for my hand. So like that way you can make everything work a lot better for your hand, and so it's comfortable and so on. In the end, it should look something like this. You can just wrap your hand around, and it should just be able to sit comfortably on the glass bottle. That's why I was tracing the bottom of the glass bottle, because that way it'll sit a lot better on the handle. Cut out 3 of these and make sure the third has got a longer, not wider, I goofed there, trigger placement, because we're going to be building a trigger for there later. I cut out one of these pieces and made it into these pieces. I built the trigger, making this shape and that shape. The idea is we'll be putting a spring at the back. Next, hot glue just 2 of the pieces together. The one with the longer trigger bit and the smaller trigger bit. Like, really make sure hot glue gets everywhere. And pat it down really, really well. Next, build the trigger. Just put an old pen spring in there and put 2 pieces of EVA foam there, so the spring will stay in place and it won't move. Because, I mean, technically you don't really have to do that, but it'd just be better. Next, glue the other piece on. After you're done gluing, Dremel the handle down to what will work best for your hand. Just remember to make sure the handle's really, really comfortable for your actor or you for cosplaying. Next, make a piece like this. This is to go on the back of the gun. This way you can give it more support, so that way if you're like throwing it around or something, the glass bottle won't go flying off and hitting one of your actors or someone at a cosplay convention or whatever. Safety first. Next, take a piece like this to wrap around the gun and Dremel it all down. This is just to add more support. I'm going for a lot of support in this. After that's done, just glue it all on. It should end up looking something like this. I kind of goofed a bit and I had to glue some more support on because I cut the thing too short. So yeah, see? Didn't glue it on. I was also going to put some nails there, but it didn't. Oh well. After that, I took the pipe cleaner and twisted it around with white and blue, because those were the colors I'm using, and stuck it in there. Make sure that this is in the correct spot. This is also going to be a really tricky bit, because after you've got it all perfectly in the way you want it, or you're going to be pouring lots and lots of hot glue into the bottom. First, take the marble that's going to be going on top like so, and glue the pipe cleaner onto the marble. You're going to have to hold it in place for a little bit. Don't worry if you have to add more hot glue to it. This is going to be really tricky. Technically, you don't really have to do this. I mean, I just did it because I thought it looked cool, but even now, looking at it now, I'm kind of thinking, man, I really shouldn't have done that. But I did it anyway, and there's no going back. Next, dump lots and lots of hot glue into the bottom. This will keep the other side of the pipe cleaner in place. And make sure to put hot glue around the trim of the glass bottle. This will keep everything in place. By the way, make sure you dump a lot of hot glue in there. Next, attach these pieces that we talked about earlier to hold the marble in place. You may have to do some extra gluing. Oh yeah, I also made this little sight thing to put on the gun. Next, cover the thing in 4 or 5 layers of watered down white glue. This was something I meant to mention in the last DIY, but I didn't get around to it. I completely forgot about it, but now I did it. So yeah, basically watered down white glue is 50% water and 50% white glue. So, and this will take forever. It's going to take a good lot of your day, so I suggest watch a movie or something. Also, make sure to wash the sponge brush after every use, because that way you can keep using it, and you won't have to go spending lots on sponge brushes, even though they're only like $1. I masked the thing in painter's tape and colored in the handle silver and the parts I want black. I also taped the marble, because, yeah, I added these screws to make the simulation to make it look like it was paint, that it was metal. I also recommend when painting this you should use some spray paint, because that way it'll make it look more metal-like. I made these two pieces out of small drops of hot glue onto a sheet of paper and then colored them in a light blue color and then took white glue to glue them on the back. Hey guys, so I hope you have a lot of fun with this build. I hope this gives you a good idea on how to build your own. If you do make this, I hope you enjoy using it in your movie, or I hope you enjoy using it in your cosplay or whatever. I hope you have fun with this. See you in the next video.